Greetings and welcome to Aquarium Thoughts. I'm Dave. Today I'm standing outside of a fish store down in San Diego. This is actually basically to start out a story. This is a fish store that I visited before. This was back about maybe last year. This isn't exactly a store that's really local to me. It's about 90 minutes away from me. I live in Orange County, and this is actually down in San Diego. So there's kind of a bit of a story behind this, a little bit of a personal story as well. But part of the story starts with, this is basically the place where I did get Madam Butterfly and Mr. Bubbles, which are my African butterfly fish. I never knew about this store until I was actually down in San Diego. Basically the main reason why I was down in San Diego is basically last year, July 3rd, 2017 to be exact, is when I actually got my kidney transplant. So that's one thing about me that you probably haven't known yet. But I was down here during that time, and I actually decided, okay, let's check out a few fish stores in the area, and this is actually one of them, which I actually saw Madam Butterfly and Mr. Bubbles, and I decided to take them home. So I'm going to go ahead and take a walk inside here and show basically the store out. I actually like the store. I wish the store is actually closer to me because I would love to visit, although 90 minutes for some of you guys is a normal fish store for you to begin with. But let me go ahead and walk inside and show you around. So hold on. Okay, so I'm going to walk in. I'm actually with my boys, Liam and Levi here. But anyways, as I was walking in, they have a koi pond right here, which they do have some toys. This little set up here. And over here they do have some tanks that are aquascaped. This one is actually aquascaped by Tom Barb, so we have that. I guess Tom Barb was here previous time, and he actually auto-escaped this. And there's an auto sinkless sitting on the glass right there. But this is the other ones that they have. Now they have some more over there, and there, of course, they have the rocks for aquascaping. One good thing about this store is they do focus a lot on aquascaping. They have some Spanish River newts right here. There's one right there. Let me turn off the light. I don't think we need the light on. I don't know why I have it on. There. We have some, of course, they have plants. This focuses a lot on aquascaping. Plenty of plants here, so if you need plants. Another good thing is store with plants. I wish more of my stores up where I live actually had it. More and more plants.
Control.
But basically that is the store right here. They have their supplies. One thing I did notice about this was they actually have an Aquascape visualization tank where you grab stuff off the shelf and see how it looks in a tank. So this right now is me demoing the Aquascape visualization tank right there. Just basically, you could just take stuff and play around with it before you actually take it home and buy it and place it in your own tank. So it gives you an idea right there. That's that tank. It's nice for that store to actually have. They do focus on aquascaping. This right here now, these I'm going to be showing you the tanks. With the sounds in the store starting getting busier, I decided I'm just going to take video and just do the voiceover when I got home. So that's what I'm doing now. Plus my boys are being a little noisy, as you could previously tell in the previous video shot there. This right here is just some of the tanks that they have. A lot of tetras, a lot of resboras. You got those glass catfish right there. Ornaments, boy getting his garden hose and watering the plants. And of course they have the normal stuff you see at most fish stores. Plants, a lot of plants at this store. You have the anacris right there. And one good thing about this store is they do quarantine there are fish there. This one is actually under quarantine. It's actually misspelled on the sign. I just noticed that when I was reviewing the video. Other signs are fine, so they do know how to spell there, so don't worry about that. But most people are going to understand those are quarantined. They're not for sale at the moment, being watched. This is some of their other tanks where you have some cherry barbs. I didn't really take a good look at the tetras that are in there. I just noticed the cherry barbs. You got 3 rows of tanks. These are the top shelves. So you have the blood parrots. Then moving on, these are beautiful looking Silvertip Tetras that I've noticed there. I wish I could have a tank of them. Unfortunately, I don't really have a tank that I could put them in. Well, Silvertip Tetras, I would love to have those. I believe these were Columbia Tetras, and a few other stuffs in there. You have Breno Eras Tetras in there as well. I don't know if that's Columbia or the Breno Eras, but you have some Sturby Cory Cats. I believe they're Sturbys, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, the dwarf frog just floating in there in the bubbles. Basically, overall, I do like this store a lot. They have some decorations like that Christmas wreath made out of moss. But overall, I do love this store. I like the way it's set up. It's always good to know that they do quarantine their fish. This is their second location, which is on the Convoy Street in San Diego. So if you're ever in San Diego, make sure you do check them out. Some angelfish there. This right here is one of their main tanks up front that they have. That's Aquascape. The fish in there are not for sale. They're just for display purposes only. Once again, you have more of those Christmas wreaths made out of moss and a bunch of other plants in there. I love that red plant in the middle there. I wish I could grow my red plants that nice. And this is another row. We have some other fish, some iridescent shark, catfish, puffer. Here, right here is the store pet. Lo and behold, it's a puffer fish called Odin, aka Puff Daddy. I guess that's aka name Puff Daddy, but I like Odin better. Some more fish. Once again, more fish. Of course, we're in a fish store. You have some other ones. You have some Baddis, some Balar sharks and iridescent sharks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. They didn't have any African butterfly fish, but this is the store where I bought my African butterfly fish, Madam Butterfly, and once again more quarantined, and Mr. Bubbles. There's like I think 3 or 4 tanks in the store that actually were on quarantine because they're new arrivals. They do quarantine their fish, like a lot of fish stores probably should. This right here, I'm just taking pictures of the fish in the tank. I believe that's a shovel nose. I could be wrong on some of these names, so correct me if I am wrong. Once again, more quarantine tanks. This time it's actually spelled right. These are some rams that they have in. More and more fish. But overall, like I said, I do like the store. I like the fact that there's a lot of odd fish in here that I don't see up in Orange County where I live in California. A lot of fish I don't see where I live. This, like I said, this is where I got my African butterfly fish. I haven't seen them in a fish store before I got to this store. Although about maybe like 6 months later, I actually did find them in my other fish store I do go to near me. And if you are curious, they do They do have an online store as well, which is petzonesd.com, I believe. I will double check that and put that in the description. Once again, another quarantine tank. This time, this has, what does this one have? Forget what this one had. Oh, Blind Cave Tetras. That's what this one had. And of course, you have like the little thing about them in the corner, basically telling you about it, what size it gets. Is it easy? Is it hard? I don't know. Does anyone out there actually have blind cave tetras? You have the yellow loaches, kind Coming up as well, you'll see a tank that's quarantined as well, which basically goes to give you a good reason why stores should quarantine the fish, I suppose. I probably should start quarantining my fish, although I never really had big problems with that. You have some Hingley glow light rasboras here, a bunch of them. I typically like the SBIs better, my personal preference anyways. As you can see in my tank, I do have them. This is a brackish tank. You have some scats, and they actually do advertise it as a brackish tank, so people know that it's not fresh water, it's not salt, that you do need a special kind of water for it, which is brackish. As you can see, there's people helping on the other row. Once again, more Hingley glow light rasboras. Plenty of those there. You have some Gudgeon gobies, the Empire gobies, Epion Gudgeon gobies, or sorry, I'm having trouble speaking today. But anyways, some more tanks. I do love the look of that fish right there. I was looking for the Apistogramma in there. I don't think they had any in there at the moment. It's probably sold. But I did that's what I'm trying to do right here. I'm trying to find it. I do love my Apistogrammas. It's either sold or hiding in there somewhere. They do love to hide sometimes in these kind of tanks. But a lot of good looking specimens on the fish in these aquariums. Another quarantine tank. Now this one is going to show you why stores should. This was autosinkless, and unfortunately a few of them did not make it. I guess it's better for them to have them in quarantine, so if there's any disease that is killing them off, it's not going to kill their customers' fish. And once again, more and more fish. Of course, they do have their cichlids, they have their plecos. This is a tank of discus that they're selling, trying to get them to take us home. I do love the way discus looks. I just don't think I have the patience and the knowledge to actually take care of them. Once again, there's that brackish label. Of course, they have to have the glowfish because people are going to desire them, and they of course have to make money. Not my personal preference to buy them. I do not care for them, but other people do, so to each their own. There's some of their plecos that they are having for sale. And once again, I'm not really a pleco guy myself either, but a lot of people are, so there's that. And of course, they have their little care sheet on the Oscars that they do have in the tank for sale. And they have their tank of Siamese algae eaters. These are one of the best specimens I've ever seen in any fish stores around me. Nice looking fish in this store. I wish I could have them in my tanks, but I had a couple before and it didn't really turn out that well, and I did have to take them out. But some more autosinkless in their other tanks that they do have for sale. They had some in the tanks that they have for Aquascape. They have some nice looking ones in there. I wish I could pictures of those, but these are actually pretty nice looking as well. More larger fish on the upper tanks, where they're not going to have to reach very often, I hope. Yeah, there you go, another tank. I'm not quite sure what fish that is. It looks like it's some kind of cichlid, just by going by the sign on the sign. Yeah, right here is they have their arowanas. They have a couple in there. Looks like they're store pets as well. I wish a lot of stores have to have their big fish as their mascots, I suppose. You have your puffers, you have your arowanas. I wish more stores had just a school of Cardinal Tetras. Right now, these are basically going through the Aquascape tanks that they have set up. They have some nanos tanks with some aquascaping with plants. They have a couple in here, as you'll see, that I guess they're going to be basically trying to start up, growing them immersed, or yeah, immersed as opposed to submersed, where they're getting it started so it could look nice. I wish I had the patience to do that, but I'm just like, nope, I'm going to throw my plants in the water and go from there. And some of these do have like guppies. There are some with some nice looking autosinkless. Like I said, I wish I got a picture of that one because it looked, well, I got a picture of the tank, I just didn't get a picture of the autos in there. And there you go, you got some more fish in that one. Some chili reservoirs, I believe. Another Christmas reef. Now this is the tank that did have the nice looking auto. I just don't think I got a really good shot of them in there. Now, I might be wrong on some of these fish names, but let's see here. Or was this the auto tank? It was one of these two, but a lot of tanks autoscaping. Like I said, this store does focus a lot on autoscaping, which is nice to have. I guess it's one way to make money in this kind of business. Once again, here's more Aquascape. I mean, they have a lot of rocks available. They have a lot of driftwood available. It's a really nice setup that they have, especially if you're into autoscaping. Trying to get some shots of some of the fish in there. But that's pretty much, I believe, what I've took. And that's pretty much my tour of Pet Zone in San Diego. This is the one, like I said, on Convoy St. So that was my tour of the Pet Zone San Diego on Convoy St. I know they do have another location down in San Diego. I believe that one is on University Avenue towards Hillcrest, somewhere in there. At some point over there. But I do like the one in Convoy. The other one is a little bit smaller, basically, and I think that one is actually University City. It's somewhere in there. It's somewhere on University Avenue in that area. This is a little smaller place, but I do like going to the one in Convoy St. whenever I'm down in San Diego. That's where, like I said in the beginning, that's where I got Madam Butterfly as well as Mr. Bubbles, which are my African butterfly fish that I have in my bedroom tank. And like I was explaining earlier, the only reason why I would happen to be down there was because I did get a kidney transplant down there last year, July 3rd. This one actually happened to be a cadaver donor. So this is one of those people that decided, okay, I want to be an organ donor. And they checked that box, and unfortunately something happened where he passed. So then I got his kidney. I'm sure other organs went to other people. That's one thing I'm always grateful for, is that fact that I was able to get that kidney rather than having to undergo dialysis. But basically a little bit more about me that I'm sharing with you guys. Probably something I really didn't have to, but I just figured not. I did this store tour. I kind of wanted to give the backstory on it, where I was down there for the kidney transplant. I happened to be going to doctors down there. I just happened to be like, okay, I'm in the area. Let's look around at the fish stores down there. That is one of them I found. Another store I like a lot down there, I'll be sharing that one with you shortly as well. I filmed a little bit down there as well today. But that's going to be in a future video. I will share that as well. But just to let you guys know as well, if you ever see this on my arm and is curious what that little vein is, that's actually my vein. That's for when I was on dialysis. But definitely better now. I have a working kidney now, so I have that going for me. And one thing I would like to bring up is not, if you're on the fence of becoming an organ donor, just check that mark. Basically, you're going to help a lot of people out. It's not just going to be one person that you're going to be helping after you pass, but it's going to be multiple people. I mean, you have two kidneys. One kidney's going to go to one person. The other kidneys are going to go to the other. So you're helping two people right there. Not to mention your heart, your lungs, and anything else that they could actually share with the world for other people who need them. So I would highly recommend becoming an organ donor. I know it's going to be basically a life choice. That is something that you really need to think about, but I would recommend doing that. At least think about it and decide if that is for you. If not, fine. I'm not going to twist any arms or anything, but it's just something I feel strongly about, considering that I did benefit from that. anyways, I hope you enjoyed my tour of the Pet Zone San Diego. Another thing to keep in mind, they do have an online store as well. I believe that's PetZoneSD.com. You could order fish from them online as well. Definitely check them out. They do quarantine the fish, as you've seen in the video. Although I know, like I said, one of them is misspelled, but most people get the gist of what they're trying to say there. But I do hope you like my tour. I hope you like my future tours and my future videos. And I'm going to be signing off right now. So whenever you're watching this, have a great day, night, or whenever. Thanks.